Today in history, February 8th. Today is Thursday, February 8th, the 39th day of 2018. There are 326 days left in the year. Today's highlights in history. On February 8, 1968, 3 college students were killed in a confrontation between demonstrators and highway patrolmen at South Carolina State University in Orangeburg in the wake of protests over a whites-only bowling alley. The science fiction film Planet of the Apes, starring Charlton Heston, had its world premiere in New York. It went into general release the following April. On this date, in 1587, Mary, Queen of Scots, was beheaded at Fotheringhay Castle in England after she was implicated in a plot to murder her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I. In 1693, a charter was granted for the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg in the Virginia colony. In 1862, the Civil War Battle of Roanoke Island, North Carolina, ended in victory for Union forces led by General Ambrose E. Burnside. In 1910, the Boy Scouts of America was incorporated. In 1922, President Warren G. Harding had a radio installed in the White House. In 1937, during the Spanish Civil War, Malaga fell to nationalist and Italian forces. In 1942, during World War II, Japanese forces began invading Singapore, which fell a week later. In 1952, Queen Elizabeth II proclaimed her accession to the British throne following the death of her father, King George VI. In 1978, the deliberations of the Senate were broadcast on radio for the first time as members opened debate on the Panama Canal treaties. In 1989, 144 people were killed when an American chartered Boeing 707 filled with Italian tourists slammed into a fog-covered mountain in the Azores. In 1992, the 16 Olympic Winter Games opened in Albertville, France. In 1993, General Motors sued NBC, alleging that Dateline NBC had rigged 2 car-truck crashes to show that 1973-87 GM pickups were prone to fires inside impact crashes. NBC settled the lawsuit the following day and apologized for its unscientific demonstration. 10 years ago, Scotland Yard investigators concluded that Pakistani opposition leader Benazir Bhutto died on December 27, 2007, as the result of a bomb blast, not a gunshot, a finding disputed by Bhutto supporters. A 23-year-old nursing student at Louisiana Technical College in Baton Rouge shot and killed 2 other students and then herself. Novelist Phyllis A. Whitney died in Charlottesville, Virginia, at age 104. 5 years ago, a massive storm packing hurricane-force winds and blizzard conditions began sweeping through the Northeast, dumping nearly 2 feet of snow on New England and knocking out power to more than 500,000 customers. 1 year ago, the Senate confirmed Senator Jeff Sessions to be Attorney General, 52-47, despite fierce Democratic opposition to the Alabama Republican over his record on civil rights and immigration. Britain's House of Commons gave its final approval to a bill authorizing the government to start exit talks with the European Union, despite fears by opposition lawmakers that the UK was setting out on a rocky path to Brexit with a sketchy roadmap.